What's going on, Vape Nation? Job 131 Vapes is back, and today I am doing a review on Ivogo's Cherry Bomber box mod clone. Okay, so here it is. I got the silver one. So, as I normally do, I'm going to go to the zoomed in view. We'll take a look at it piece by piece, and after that I'll vape it and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. So please keep watching. Okay, so here we are in the zoomed in view for the Ivogo Cherry Bomber clone. This is the box that it came in. As you can see, Cherry Bomber logo all around. And you open it up, and this inside you get the Cherry Bomber. As you can see, it looks pretty slick. Engraving is pretty deep. You can see they want clouds. We got clouds. That is slightly off, as you can tell. It's not exactly straight to the top of the unit, but it's not that bad. It's not that noticeable. So as you can see, you see MCV Philippines, fuck all cloners, and this is number 0078. Yeah, fuck all cloners. But yeah. As it is, this is the side of it, and you have Masterpiece Custom Vapors, and that's the button right there. Engraving is pretty nice, button is pretty responsive, and you can turn it and to lock it. The back, as you can see, there's some slight blemishes right out of the box, right over here on the side, but I don't think it's a deal breaker, but it's just something to look out for. Other side, same thing. You see some, it's like a brush satin finish. As you can see on the bottom, there's some scuffing as well. I didn't really use it, so that was there from the factory, I believe. You got two copper negative pins, and we have a venting hole right there. Use a flathead to loosen and tighten the negatives. So you open it up, this is the door. Flip it over, the magnet's right there, and a little notch. And I just put that notch in, or that little flap, slip it in, and it's pretty solid, no shakes or anything like that. But as you can see on the back, the magnet's right there, but the machining is a little bit rough. Looks like they didn't really clean it off, but yeah, that machining's a little bit rough. But I mean, that's not going to affect performance. That's on the inside, but you do get an extra copper connection. You'll see what that's for when I pull apart that piece on top. The magnet's over there, the negative copper pins right there, and your venting hole. As you can see, I got the positive copper pins up there as well, and I have white Delrin piece, I believe. So you open this up, I find it kind of gets stuck, so that's, I guess, a little bit of a negative, but it'll pop off. As you can see, that's a positive copper pins, and that's that replacement copper bar, I guess, or that they included. So yeah, that seems to be good. And inside, yeah, it's a floating 510 copper pin. That's brass right there, and Delrin on the outside. As well, inside it's copper. Excuse me. And yeah, again, it is floating. Let's push it down, and then tighten up your negative, and then it should fit snugly. And then that's your copper pin for the button, purely mechanical here. So you can see that's in a locked position. It doesn't make contact. And if you turn it to the left or counterclockwise, then that's how you would make contact. Other than that, you can see that the machining is a little bit rough on the inside as well. I can see the grooves and the markings, but again, that shouldn't affect performance. Yeah, that's just the way it is. So put everything back together. You take this Delrin piece and copper piece and just slip it in. Then you take your 18650s and just make sure negatives on the bottom and positives on top. Pop them in and then tighten up the negative screws on the bottom, like I am right now. And don't crank them on. You just need to be snug so they don't move around, but you don't have to be cranking them on like super hard. Then you just put the lid on, and that's pretty much it. No shakes, everything's good, everything's solidly inside. So normally I would say put in the dripper or the atomizer in first so that you can tighten it correctly. But for now, obviously for this one, it seems to be okay. And you press it and it fires away. Pretty instantaneous, no real delay or anything like that. And like I said, that's a lock, it's not firing. And then you turn it back and it fires. So yeah, that is the zoomed in view for the Cherry Bomber clone. So right now we'll go out and vape it, and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like. So please keep watching.
Alright, that was the zoomed in view for the Cherry Bomber clone from Ivogo. What I like about it, first and foremost, I like the look of the logo and the engraving and everything like that. I like the look. That may be a minus for some people, maybe a little bit too loud, even the language, fuck all cloners, etc. That might be a little bit much for some people. I like it, I think it looks pretty cool, and that's why I picked it up. Second thing I like, obviously the copper contacts for the batteries. That's always a plus. A floating 510 pin, which is good as well. What else do I like? I like the size and the weight of it. It's just a little bit wider than a Dimitri, I guess, but I mean it's sexy looking, I think. So what I don't like, number one, as I pointed in the zoomed in view, this is slightly off. It's not really perfectly straight. It's a little bit off. Second thing I don't like is the button. There at times, because it does turn to lock it, it does get loose. So keep that in mind. You might want to, tighten it up every so often. The other thing is the locking mechanism. While it does work, if it's in your pocket or jacket pocket or what have you, it could turn. I wish it was a little bit more. When it's in the locked position, I wish it was locked until you actually have to physically move it. But other than that, a couple other things I didn't like. But it's a clone, so just the kind of defects as far as the finish was concerned. When I got it fresh out of the box, it was there. I showed you in a zoomed-in view that there was some scuffs and everything like that. Some of the machining was a little bit rough on the inside of it, and a little bit on the outside. But I mean, it's a clone. So am I complaining too much? Maybe, but it's a clone. So other than that, would I buy this? Well, yeah, I bought it. I picked it up from my buddy Kimuri 101 on whackedoutesig.ca, or check his Facebook Kimuri Vapes or his website kimurivapes.com. I picked it up for $60 Canadian. Is it worth it? I think it's worth it if you like the look. If you don't like the look, then maybe go with the Dimitri clone from Ivogo, just because that's a little bit more sleek and a little bit more not as loud, I guess you can say. But yeah, I mean, for $60, I mean, if you're not looking to pick up the authentic, this is a good alternative because it still hits pretty hard. Everything works. See, for me, because of the finish was a little bit rough, I'm actually going to be, I guess, polishing this out so I can get it nice and shiny. But I'll show you guys in later videos after I do that. But yeah, for $60 Canadian, I think it's worth it. I like it, but that's because I like the look. If you don't like the look, then I wouldn't suggest picking up. Maybe go with the Dimitri. So, I mean, this is Job 131 Vape saying, keep your wicks wet and thanks for watching.